I couldn't fucking believe it.
I mean, in a shoot, like if those two decide this was serious business now at throwing down, who you putting your money on?
Haku.
Gotta be, right?
Yeah, he's beyond badass, man. He hurts you so many different ways.
I heard a story recently about him getting into a dust-up in a bar, and it took something like 7 police officers to detain him.
Oh, yeah. You know, I was there when he bit the guy's nose off.
I mean, when you see a coworker bite another human being's nose off, I mean, what is the reaction from you?
It took just that long for him to bite the guy's nose off, and he spit it in the floor and said, "I move your face." He told the guy twice, "Move your face." Because the guy had got nose to nose with him and was talking shit, you know. You fucking wrestlers suck dick, motherfucker. Y'all don't belong in this fucking bar. It's not your fucking bar. Get the fuck out. Move your face. God, you cocksuckers, we don't want you in here. The women don't want you in here. The guys don't want you in here. So get the move your face. Get the fuck. And he moves his hand and all he sees 2 holes.
Oh, God.
Where his sign is.
Oh, my God.
You know? He's bit his whole fucking nose off.
Jesus. I mean, for your end, you just witnessed something hideous, like out of a horror movie while you're at the bar. Is it like, well, I'm going home, or you're like, hey.
Yeah, I'm like, I think we're going to get one more beer and leave, if you don't mind. Can I have a beer, please? I asked for a beer, they threw a 6-pack at me.
Just whatever. Get all these people out of the bar.
Oh, fuck, man.
Dude.
That was bad news.
All right.
One time we were in Montreal, we were walking down the street, and this cop fucking yells at us, and fucking Haku just snatches him and body slams him.
A cop?
Yeah. Body slammed the motherfucker. And we just kept walking.
I mean, like, nobody is safe around this guy. Like,
oh, no. Well, another time, what was the guy's name? Funk.
Jimmy Jack?
Jimmy Jack Funk, yeah. He gets with fucking Haku. They fucking get into it. And Haku fucking jerks his fucking eyeball out.
Oh.
Now his eyeball is hanging down like to here, swinging. And he's bent over, and he's like, "Hey Jake, so fucking weird. I can see the ground, and I can see you standing way over there. This is really fucked up, you know?" And I'm like, "Your fucking eyeballs out, man."
And he was like, Jimmy Jack was just unfazed, like, "Oh wow, that's interesting."
Yeah. Oh yeah. But at least Haku was nice enough to put it back in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he fucking grabbed you in the headlock and just fucking shoved that shit back up in there.
What a gentleman.
Oh. I fucking ran to my room and fucking cried.
I mean, I'd be throwing up or something. Like, that is disgusting.
Yeah,
man. All right, Haku. Probably even to this day, folks, just don't fuck with him. Just leave him alone.
Don't fuck with that motherfucker, man.
Don't fuck with that motherfucker, dude.
Imagine your dream home setup. I bet you're thinking about beautifully crafted items I co-created with women, black, and underrepresented sellers. Well, guess what? Etsy has it.
I understand the Ultimate Warrior, who a lot of people were also jealous of. You had a good connection with him.
Yeah, I have real good connection with the Warrior, man. Some people saying I left because something the Warrior told me. That's bull crap. I'm my own man. If I left, it's because I wanted to leave. The Warrior had nothing to do with me leaving. I mean, he taught me a bunch of things backstage and told me a bunch of things. You know, like how one match, one guy can make close to $1 million, and the other guy, because he's black and he's been, you know, he's a big star, but they're not paying him right. During that match, one of the stars made close to $1 million, and Kamala, I'll tell you his name, Kamala only made $5,000.
Yeah, Kamala wasn't paid very well overall. I interviewed him before he passed.
Yeah.
Even in WCW too.
Yeah, he was suffering, man. He was suffering.
Yeah, he had a sad end. So I guess you were kind of paying attention to that as far as your negotiations after talking to the Warrior.
Yeah, the Warrior opened my eyes to quite a few things, man, that wasn't going on right there. But none of them was the reason why I left. But yeah, the Warrior just, I mean, I was surprised when he called me. I was walking to the locker room, and he had his own private locker room. And he's like, I'm here, come on here, man. You trust me. That's the first time I ever laid eyes on this man. And we got back there, and we started talking, man, while we were getting dressed. And he just told me the lowdown, what to watch out for.
Yeah, and I did hear Kamala say that Warrior would let Kamala in his limo and stuff like that too. So he wasn't the big asshole that everyone likes to point him out to be.
The only one that I had a strained relationship with was Scott Steiner, and it was a result of. Eventually, when Bischoff is gone, they put me in with Bill Bush, who was running the company for a while, who was the money man. He was there all along, but he was the financial guy. And we were doing live TV.
What was Warrior like to work with?
He was different. I mean, you know, he was in his own world. He was kind of a seclusive guy, not very active in the dressing room so far as social. But to work with him, he was very limited. I mean, he only knew a few moves, and those few moves he did great. But to try to get him out of that just simple pattern of his movement was difficult. So to have a match that was different than any of his other matches was very hard. And plus he was a little egotistical. I mean, you know, it's hard to say it any other way.
Yeah.
I mean, other guys have a more brutal way of putting it, but I mean, you know, who am I to judge other guys? So I just say, you know, he was his own guy. I mean, wasn't the easiest to work with, but he was a great attraction, and you know, for what he did a great job at it, but I wouldn't want to work with him 7 nights a week, 365 days a year. I mean, you know, because that would have been boring after a while. So, I mean, I don't really have anything bad to say about him.
Interwebs, and they are traded and they are collectible. Well, if anything, I'm a collector, so if anything's collectible, then I want to know about it. And I'm talking to some gentlemen right now. I even use that term respectfully. They are gentlemen. They use their left and right turn indicator and use proper English. Mm-hmm. And we're working something out where there's going to be different varieties of these, depending on the collectible level and different amounts of these things. But the real crux of the matter, the big-time Jim Cornette NFTs are going to come with one-of-a-kind, personal, ring-worn stuff, rare merchandise of Jim Cornette himself.
Yo, I would never let this couch do. Got a shit saying better than my brain stay failing. Leave not an option. I done dealt with drama and stress. Laying up at ICU, she's sticking out every part of my flesh. Most of my life I've been impacted with this lady. But from now I need some new niggas to come from getting at an early age. A lot of niggas was at the school, didn't even invite, and I was on the blocks on the cracks, niggas rolling up for me.
Reasons the Ultimate Warrior was dumpster juice. I know that being a pro wrestling fan can require some mental gymnastics around moral issues. I get it, brother. While Warrior, to this day, does have a big fan base, it's mostly people that quit watching wrestling in 1995, people that don't know any better, or people that choose to let the nostalgia of a dude fake fighting in his underwear override things like basic human decency. To the people that do know these things, Warrior needlessly ruined his legacy by being a big old piece of shit. Most of this comes directly from Warrior's blog, which has mostly been scrubbed from the internet at this point. I'm sure the WWE PR intern that made that call got a cookie. The problem is, wrestling fans are super nerds that like to take screenshots and document things, so a good bit of hard evidence lives on. Number 10. The Ultimate Warrior, namesake of the WWE Warrior Courage Award, said that he would have done a better job than the 9/11 firefighters. I mean, come on. Those lazy 343 firefighters that died when the towers collapsed are just jabrones that could never be an Ultimate Warrior. It can be argued that this should have been higher on the list, but I just wanted to start off strong and show you who this guy was. This actually isn't even close to the worst part about him. The Warrior was awful in the ring, and not just performance.
You must be hating. Hating where? Alright. You wanna rock and roll all night. And party every day.
To the Caramel Apples Podcast, Apple Snap that brings you a retro vibe that's crunchy and sweet. With your hosts, Timothy Rizzo and Cooper Lee. Now, in our season finale, we covered a key highlight of the intriguing topic of the hugely popular 80s, that of WWF. So you really, you just really never know what you might stumble onto during any of our Ultra retrospects. But rest assured that whatever you do find, it's always a good time. So, yeah, it is. So talking about WWF is definitely something huge from our recent past that really resonates with so many, young and old alike.
Agreed. It's so much fun reaching back into our memories or old VHS footage via YouTube in order to revisit some of the commentary, smack talking, stage promo performances, and the adrenaline filled wrestling matches that regularly occupied our TV screens back then.
Now, we've mentioned this briefly in previous episodes, and how although we were vaguely familiar with the entity of what WWF was, also as well as some of its intimate key players, the true exciting topic are the hubby hubs and so many others like them that are drawn to the most nostalgic mainstay. Yeah. Like, I literally became more familiar with some of the honorary characters of WWF, like, I'd say back in 2015 or thereabouts.
Oh, wow!
I know, right? But seriously, too, when I actually took the time to watch and become familiar with a few of the heavy hitters of yesteryear, I was pleasantly surprised and totally entertained. I'm proud to say that although late to the game, I'm a newfound fan.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
We've promised that these next couple of weeks we'll continue to peer into and take a closer look at some more of the top names from back then and get some entertaining, in-depth insight on each of the chosen. Yeah, we've already covered key players like Andre the Giant, Iron Sheik, Jake the Snake, etc. Archivers. Are any of them mentioned your favorites? If not these, who were you shouting at the TV or ran to beat their opponent? Let us know. These submissions that we've been getting have been wildly entertaining. So join in our discussion and let us know. We await your thoughts and experiences, archivers.
Oh my goodness, yes. Fascinating discussion all the way around indeed, Steve.
Nice.
But thinking back about their signature moves and trash talking promos was the alluring formula that fascinated many a bona fide tried and true fan Saturday mornings, afternoons, cartoons in the morning.
Yes.
But this week, we're going to deep dive even further in one of the most recognizable wrestlers today. We're going to talk about Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh my goodness. Where do we even start with when it comes to Macho Man?
I know, right?
Yeah, seriously. He was the very epitome of what we call a caramel apple hot mess. He was 100% honoring to boot.
He most certainly was. You literally can watch video after video of him. So many other wrestlers, but dude, watching the Macho Man is pure entertainment.
Yes.
From head to toe, he was the whole show. And the total package of keeping the viewers glued to that ooh.
His trash talking was epic. So that rough and tough, rowdy voice has some very, shall we say, interesting attire, headbands, and fur. You get one look at that hair, and that is wild modified fireman if you ever saw one. Behold, he owned that mane.
He really did. He'd be swinging it around while trash talking, pointing that finger, or flying through the air in the ring while mashing on and tossing his opponent. Macho Man Randy Savage was truly a live wire. You could tell that he really enjoyed what he came to do. Because that was to perform and win.
Macho Man is so entertaining. You can't help but smile at that.
That's cool.
Well, Macho Man Randy Savage was born Randall Mario Coffey on November 15, 1962. As we're all well aware, he was an American professional wrestler, commentator, actor, rapper, and professional baseball player at one time.
Eclectic?
Yeah, that's a pretty wild resume there. But thankfully, he was best known for his infamous career in the WWF and later the WCW. And a lot of fans know that the WCW stands for World Championship Wrestling. So this is where his Macho Man pseudonym took hold, and this is how we know him best, as we just mentioned.
Yes. Well, we may ask just how good recognized and well-liked this Macho Man Randy Savage in the wide, wide world of wrestling, even though he was a notable heel. Fun fact, you may be happy to know that Macho Man Randy Savage was described by ESPN's Bill Simmons as one of the greatest wrestlers who ever lived. Yes. So a statement repeatedly echoed by numerous industry comrades and performers. We have to humbly agree.
Indeed. Like, we can't stress this enough, but if you ever had the privilege or seen the Macho Man perform either on TV or live in person, inside or outside the ring, then you are fortunate enough to have been a witness to true enjoyable entertainment.
Oh yeah, tell me more.
Hey, Wendy.
So Macho Man Randy Savage was easily recognizable wherever he went. With his wild hairdo and his distinctive deep raspy voice.
Snap it to a Slim Jim.
He had his flamboyant attire and all that to go in the basket as well.
This is so true of Macho Man.
Yeah.
He was so entertaining, as stated earlier. Each time he had a chance to enter into the venue he was wrestling at, again, his honorary intensity was put on full display and exhibited both in and out of the ring. He would have the song playing, Pump Up the Circumstances, or
That was ugly.
That was ugly. Okay. Song playing, Pump Up the Circumstance, as he paraded in. Now, if you're not quite familiar with what we're talking about and just saying the name of the song, no doubt you've heard it a time or two. You know the traditional high school university graduation song.
Yep, that'd be it. That's the one.
This was his entrance anthem.
Now, see, are we even the least bit surprised at all of Macho Man's 3D honoriness he's chosen to share with the world? I mean, come on. After all, he does hail from Columbus, Ohio.
Ooh, go Midwest.
And you know what they say about the craziness that comes from amongst the cornfields.
Let's say the early 1900s, late 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, there were no hoods, there were no different, there were no ghettos, there were no projects, there were no gang.
Brother.
So,
not to cut your wisdom, hold on 2 seconds. We have Brother Sanchez in the chat. Shout out to Brother Sanchez. He's been on the platform. He's been on the platform before. Huge channel on his side. I say we do it again, Brother Sanchez. Honored to have you before. Hopefully we can have you on again. With that said, we can go into the movie if you like, good brother.
yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So basically, the premise of the movie.
But again, I wanted to.
So basically, the premise. Really bad, brother.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Go ahead, bro.
Okay. I would like to invite Brother Sanchez on the line. I'm gonna keep it 5 trillion, but you know this is the MOY podcast, so it's not really my place. But let me just continue on. This is the premise. The premise is the clone dies. The premise is that the clone dies. He comes back, and he has a breakdown upon realizing his life is a lie. That's the whole movie right there. There's a clone who doesn't realize he's a clone. He has a vision, which is really just a remembering of his past life, that he dies, and we're going to see a little bit of a Matrix glitch, and in the Matrix glitch, he sees a clone of himself that got picked up by the black SUV, and he's just really grappling with the reality of who he is. I want to breathe there and see where else you want to go with that, but that's pretty much how I had it, and I was going to go into the actual movie now that I've kind of given the overview. So I guess you can hear me and we good. So this is how.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. So the movie is brought to us by Macro Media.
Continue. Just go. Stop. I got you.
Yes, sir. Okay. The movie is brought to you by Macro Media, and Macro, in case you don't know, is a panoramic view, a wide view. When you're not looking at the tree per se, you're looking at the forest. I found it to be very interesting that Macro Media brought you this. And the opposite of macro is going to be micro. So it's almost as it is above, it is below. So macro would be the above, as it is above, Macro Media. Or media being an image or a tool used to connect two things. Anyway, so yeah, scene one. In scene one, you're going to see a white man's eyes zoomed up. He has blue eyes, blonde hair, pale skin, and he's zoomed in on you. This is going to be from the book turned movie 1984. This was required reading at the high school level almost ubiquitously across the American nation, to where most children within, let's say, a 20-year span from maybe 1990 to 2020. In high school, 1984 was one of the required readings. It was a book written by George Orwell or something like that, one of these sci-fi dudes. And this movie, you know, he was very much sci-fi mystery, and this movie is sci-fi mystery. And the two eyes had a moniker under it which read, "Big Brother is watching." So right off the bat, as soon as the movie starts, you're going to see these two eyes, and it's going to be on a soda can. The reason soda is important because they're going to control through consumerism. They control you very much so as a debt slave. There's going to be no chains, whips, so on and so forth. That would be a hallmark of what we know as slavery. This is going to be a new and clever type of control system through the products. So now the two eyes are watching you, and this is the first thing you see as soon as the movie comes on. The first words you hear as soon as the movie comes on, first words is Michael Jackson. That's the very first words of the movie. Now, the reason they say that is because this is going to be a premonition, a omen, if you will, that the movie is about black people going from black to white. This is not the whole thing, because there's lots more to it, but this is a very big, strong way to come in. And then we find out about the main character, whose name is Fontaine. Fontaine being a source of the word fountain. Fountain being a source. In the movie, Fontaine, he thinks he's the source. He thinks he's an original. You know, and somebody who deals with the source is a sorcerer. He is a sorcerer, but he taps into the source, but he himself is not the source. He thinks he's the source, but no, you're a clone. Spoiler alert. So he's with this. Well, matter of fact, here, let me breathe. I think the minister is buffering, so I want to give him a chance to speak when he comes back in. If he comes back in, I hope he comes back in. But let me continue on. So Fontaine is with this little boy, and the little boy is snitching on a rival drug dealer. And while in the car, the little boy talks about Squidward, and he says that Fontaine is like Squidward because Fontaine kills the vibe. We're going to see where that right there is very important because...
They need to overanalyzing that shit. Man, baby.
When I go hiking,
this motherfucker's overanalyzing this
hard and fast. I can come home and go into that bed and set that number.
Being the expiration of your WWF contract so you can make your big debut, the wrestling world is completely turned on its head. After more than a decade as the ultimate babyface, the biggest star in the history of wrestling turns heel at Bash of the Beach 1996 on June 7th. The third man in Hall & Nash's group is revealed to be Hulk Hogan, and the group is officially named the New World Order. So Ted, Hulkamania officially comes to an end, and Hogan immediately becomes the top heel in the business after being the biggest babyface ever in the business since 1984. When you're first hearing about him turning heel, are you convinced that the whole thing is going to work, or were you concerned that you completely reject the idea of this version of Hulk Hogan?
Oh no, here's the thing about the wrestling. If you're a huge, irregardless whether you're a heel or you're a babyface,
so baby.
The first time some of these guys came in, it wasn't like they were ready to just give us their raw feedback, you know? They're trying to... gauge for exactly what people are complaining about.
How red-handed.
Whatever.
What you doing, huh?
So what were you doing?
Doogie boo? The boogie woogie?
What was the boogie woogie now?
They ever talking about the movie, they were overanalyzing that shit, saying shit didn't even happen. They trying to go from white to black, from black to white and shit. Probably like Michael, just like, what the hell? The motherfuckers hell overanalyzed this movie.
What, they cloned Tyra?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
They opened up the movie with Michael Jackson?
Alright.
Huh?
They opened up the movie with Michael Jackson?
Yeah, they did.
I don't know.
Me either. Well, the first thing you see is Michael Jackson. And the coke, and the sort of five has eyes on you. I'm like, what the fuck?
I know they made like a thriller. They made a thriller reference, I think.
Well, there's a glitch in the Matrix. This is a clown. I heard the cold show, and it is that time. It's a game, but there is nothing. Yeah. And then, it is fine. It is